Hello, I'm Matt Guff, and this is week 2 review of the Lift skateboard. I bought this thing a little bit ago, got it shipped to me, did my unboxing video and rode it, and I am stoked. This is a dual motor power horse that goes super fast. Now, it's kind of designed for everyone, for beginner, like kind of skateboard cruisers to advanced skateboard cruisers. I found that it's awesome when I want to do quick little trips to the grocery store by my house, bring them back with everything in my backpack. I don't really have to worry about locking a bike up, and I get to ride this thing fast, and it looks really stealth, and it gets tons of looks. When you're riding this thing, like, everyone's like, well, what is that guy doing? How is he riding so fast? And how is he not pushing? It's pretty cool to see the reactions of people, and like also inside myself, like just feeling rad. It just really does feel really awesome riding this thing. It has a pretty flat style profile to it. There's no really concave. It has like little wheel cutouts, and it's 7 plies of maple. That's kind of like why I really like this, the Liftboard too. It kind of has that classic 7-ply maple aesthetic that most classic skate decks have. It's 38 3/4 inches long and about 9 inches wide. And again, yeah, pretty flat profile. It's easy to ride this thing. It has pretty decent size carving radius, and then along with that, the little carry handle. It's kind of a nice little bonus. Like, it weighs about like 17.5 pounds. So like just carrying like a traditional skate deck is a little bit just easier with that little grippy handle. The grip tape that comes on top, of course, is super grippy. I've gone through some pretty variable conditions, a little bit of light mist. It's here fall right now, so there's like a lot of little rain, and I haven't really ridden it through heavy rain by any means, but for the most part, the grip's kind of held up. It doesn't get really too dirty. And another cool thing about the Liftboard is that it has a max weight capacity of 265 pounds. Now, I'm nowhere near that. I'm close. I'm about 6'4", weigh about 220 pounds, and it just feels right for me. And like the overall length and the width of the deck is pretty perfect for my size, 11 feet, but anyone can ride on it, from like a 5'2" girl who really wants to carry around to like a pretty big dude like me. The Liftboard is like spot on. The Liftboard trucks are really nice. They have about a 7 1/4 inch style axle and about a 9.5 inch hanger. That's like the distance in between. Standard steel, and it has like a single pivot point. Now, when I first got the trucks, I thought that they were a little bit loose, like just by kind of like feeling them. But after I kind of like rode them out, I actually loosened them up just a little bit more to get my turning radius just a little bit smaller. Because of like the width of the axles, the width of the trucks, the distance apart, and like overall, like kind of how it's constructed, it still has a pretty big turning radius, but you loosen those babies up and you can get it nice and tight. Along with that is a little bit of a riser pad. It has about a 1/4 inch riser pad, but the battery kind of like housing system is about 1.25 inches. So your wheels in the center of the axle is actually kind of like lifted pretty high off the ground, and you kind of see. And then you'll notice too, of course, that the front truck doesn't have any motors on it. The back truck has the dual motor. And again, I chose the dual motor because it creates a lot more output than a single motor. It doesn't work as hard to get me going as fast as I want to go. And then then there's the wheels. I like the wheels. They're 80 millimeter wheels. They're 45 millimeters wide. They have ABEC 5 bearings. These things cruise really smooth and really fast. The material is like a thermoplastic polyurethane, or TPU. It has a pretty soft durometer style rating of 78A, I believe. For the most part though, they go over any terrain because of the size of the wheel, the diameter of the wheel. It seems to go like pretty fast without making the motors work too hard. And that's kind of like another cool thing. It's like the wheel and the shape and the material is kind of like a really good combination for what this board is designed for. Going fast and having lots of fun. Now the battery of this bad boy has high capacity. It's 8,800 milliampere hours, which has a lot of output. It takes about 3 hours to do a full charge. Now, I've ridden a couple of times where I didn't have enough time to charge it full hours, and that wasn't too bad. You know, I charged for an hour or so. It got me to where I wanted to go and back. But overall, the lithium-ion batteries charge pretty darn fast, and it has a 16-mile range. Now, the furthest that I've gone with this is actually about 4 miles out, 4 miles back, 8 miles. It's about halfway. I had full power throughout the entire time, which is a really good thing. You think that after you lose a little bit of battery power, maybe you lose a little bit of power in the motors, and that wasn't the case at all. The dual motors is kind of the one I wanted to go with because it just doesn't work as hard to get me as fast as I wanted to go with, you know, how much I weigh. Now this is kind of like a brushless style electric design. It has just kind of like a little rotor that connects to the axles that makes the wheels spin around. It has an output of about 21.6 volts, and it goes about 18.6 miles an hour. Now, because I'm a pretty big dude, I'd say it feels like it goes a little bit slower than that, but when you get going as fast as you can, it's kind of scary because it feels like you're going really fast. Now, and as for hills, sure, you can tell when you're on it that it kind of works a little bit harder when you're going up the hills and you slow down just a little bit, but for the most part, you're going pretty much the same speed up a hill as you do when you're just on flat ground, which is pretty impressive that Lift was able to engineer a motor like that and do that. You know, and then the other awesome thing about it too is that the remote, the wireless remote, this thing actually rules. Now there's 2 different settings that you can have with it. But you can't do kind of both at the same time. There's a forward setting, which is awesome. Listen how cool this sounds. So that's forward, and then you kind of tap it, hold it down, and then you do it. And then you can do it in reverse, which is really nice. But one thing you should know when you're going forward and kind of reaching that like really fast spot with the board, or how fast the max MPH is that like go smooth with the remote, because if you're kind of like staggered with the remote, like you can feel it, and if you like push too hard, too fast, you're not ready for it, the board will, because it's so powerful, it'll almost feel like it's going to shoot up from underneath you. So always be in that kind of like aggressive, like athletic stance and be ready for the power to kick in, because this thing really gets you moving. But overall, the charger too, it says that it takes about 2 hours to charge. I found I could get a full charge in about an hour, which is kind of nice. So this is overall a rad deck, and I'm really stoked with the choice. This is my like first real electric skateboard, and in like the last 2 weeks I've been able to put some miles on it. I've been able to actually connect with a couple other guys that have other electric skateboards, and this one is actually way better from what I found out, and it looks really cool. This is the Lift board. This is an electric skateboard. This one's a dual motor, uber fast, for pretty much anyone, from beginners to advanced level people that want to go super fast and look cool, because this is the best looking one in the market. I'm Matt Guff. Thanks so much for watching. If you're gonna get a deck, check out the Lift. It's perfect.
Okay, so we're going to talk about a little bit of what I like about the Liftboard. It's fast for what it is, for 500. I mean, this definitely goes 16 miles per hour. Sorry, watching intersections. Some of my first issues with it were that I was getting to really busy intersections, and was getting remote interference, or the remote was going out. So that's one thing I didn't like about it. In less busy areas, it seems to be less of an issue. But in busier intersections, you definitely can get some interference. Okay, so it turns out that I just went and recorded a whole bunch of stuff, and it didn't get any of the sound because I have this stupid selfie stick, and I plugged the headphone jack into it, and it basically cut off all my sound. So I'm going to list over what I like about the Liftboard, and I'm just going to put this in the background while I kind of show you guys the Liftboard. So, my thoughts on the Liftboard. It's a fast board for what it is. It goes about 16 miles per hour, which is, it's not bad. I'd say I think it's Ben Sider or someone else who did the other post, said that they're getting 13 to 15 on it going uphill, which I think is pretty accurate. You'll see in my video that I do take it up a steep hill that's nearby me, and that steep hill, normally I get up pretty well on my leaf on that hill. I got up on the hill without an issue, having a little bit of a head start, but not too much.